Hey Governor Palin, how's it going? I'm Eran and this is Sydney, and we live right down the street from you on Glacier Avenue. And we just wanted to stop by today and drop off a couple presents for you here at your mansion. Anyway, so we got a salmon for you, right Sydney? And we caught this together last month. It is a little small, I'm sorry about that. And I know when you open it, you're gonna say, it's a humpy. It's not the best fish you could get, but it's the best we could do. It's all we had left in the freezer. All right, so what else do we have in here, Sydney? Oh, so we were at the library and I got a bunch of books for you. Now, I don't know if this is true, but I've heard that you are a big advocate for removing books from the library that have inappropriate language, okay? So Sydney's in there, we're checking out a few books, and I figure, what the heck, I might as well clean out the children's section while I'm here. So I checked out all of the Judy Blume books in the Juneau Public Library. Now, I don't know if you've read a lot of Judy Blume, but she deals with some pretty inappropriate topics, right, Sydney? Things like masturbation and periods, stuff that kids definitely should not be learning about, okay? So what do we got here, Sydney? We got Fudgemania, we got Freckle Juice, we got Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. I got a whole bag of them. Actually, I don't know if you checked this one out, but between you and me, there's probably a few people in your family that could benefit from reading this one. Anyway, I'm gonna hang on to these. I'm not gonna leave them here at the mansion. I don't want to incur any late fees, but you can be rest assured that the children of Juneau will be protected from Judy Blume as long as my library card is valid. Okay, well, while we're on the topic of protecting children from inappropriate material, I'm thinking that might be a great place that you could highlight a contrast between yourself and your opponents on the campaign trail. Now, I heard your ads recently, the ones about how your opponents want to have sex education for children, right? Now, in contrast to that, your personal philosophy is clear that children should be protected from sex education until at least after high school. So right there, I'm thinking, hey, that's a contrast. You can point out the difference between yourself and your opponent when you're on the campaign trail, okay? Now, speaking of the campaign trail, I know that you probably have a lot of people in suits and they're writing stuff down, telling you what to say, what to do. So far be it from me to offer you any advice, but I do have one Alaskan issue that I want to talk to you about while we're here, okay? Now, that whole bridge to nowhere thing, I totally know that people are going to hassle you about that. But personally, I think you played it perfectly, right? You said, hey, we want the bridge, we'll take the money, right, Sydney? We got the money. When you got the money, you realized, wait a second, this bridge is kind of a joke. Like, no one really wants us to have this bridge. So then you said, okay, we're not going to build the bridge. We just throw Ketchikan under the bus, and we don't build the bridge. And at that point, I'm thinking, wait a second, we didn't build the bridge. Don't we have to give the money back? But no, you kept the money, right, Sydney? The governor kept the money. What did we bank out of that deal? $200 or $300 million? That was tight, okay? And I remember I was telling Sydney, I said, Sydney, that's why she's governor, and I'm just like a guy down the street who changes his own child's diapers, right, Sydney? Okay, so on the federal side, we got the money rolling in. What about on the state side? Well, since you raised taxes on the oil companies, we are banking $1 billion a month in state surplus, Sydney, okay? So basically, we're rolling in dough, and there is no better evidence of that. Look what we got here, Sydney, than our PFD check. So we got our family PFD check. Sydney's grabbing a hold of it here. $10,000 free money for our family. $6,000, actually more than $6,000, just for living down the street from the governor. She threw in another $3,600 to help us pay our heating bill. Now, our heating bill was only like $2,000, but we're probably gonna bank the difference, okay? Now, this is totally embarrassing, but Sydney and I got the check, and I don't know if you can see this right here. There's a little picture of Snoop Dogg on it, and I was saying, Sydney, why did the governor put a picture of Snoop Dogg on our check? I couldn't get the reference at all, and I was saying, it's gotta be something clever. It's Governor Palin, right? Okay, so we're thinking about it, we're talking about what we're gonna do. We bought plane tickets to Hawaii, the check, the money, and after like 2 days, I was like, that's it. That is brilliant, right? All we've been talking about is the check and the money. I've got my mind on my money and my money on my mind. That is a brilliant reference, okay? But here's what I'm worried about, and this is where it kind of all comes back together for me. What I'm worried about is someone down south, Sydney, is gonna get their mind on my money. Do you wanna hold the check? They're gonna get their mind on my money. Okay, for example, let's say that there's a guy in like Ohio. He's out at a bar after work, he's watching TV, he sees one of your campaign readings, and he says to himself, wow, those Alaskans, they sure get a lot of federal money. In fact, they get twice as much federal money as they pay into the federal treasury in taxes. So when I pay taxes here in Ohio, I'm basically paying for them to be on welfare. But hey, that's cool, right? Alaska, it's the last frontier. Probably costs a lot to heat an igloo. I'm all good with that, okay? But then he sees you on TV and you start to get a little cocky, you're strutting a little, talking about the state money, talking about the PFD check, and he says to himself, hey, wait a second. If those Alaskans have so much money that they're just giving it away for free, why should my federal taxes go to pay for welfare for them? And that is a very good question, okay? It's also a question we definitely don't want anyone down south asking. So when you're out on the campaign trail, this whole Mad Money giveaway thing, you got to keep that straight in the 907, okay? Mum's the word on the PFD check. All right, well, Sydney's getting a little antsy. Actually, you would appreciate this. For her 5-month birthday, she just got a new 22 LR, and she is itching to get to the range and pop off a couple rounds. So we're gonna head over here to your mansion and let's drop off the salmon for the governor, Sydney. All right, so we're gonna leave the salmon for you over here. It'll be right at the front door when you come back. It is frozen, so it should stay in good shape. And actually, I was thinking, this plaque you got on the door here, because we're actually paying per diem for you to live at home, you might not want to call attention to the fact that you have another house. Okay, anyway, we're gonna head out. Good luck on the campaign trail. Take care of yourself, and for all of our sake, I hope you're back here for good after November.